Hey everybody, Sirturmund here again. So today I wanted to wrap up the Blast from the Past series for this reveal season by bringing you guys, again, another deck, just like Fear Shem from yesterday, another deck from back for the meta for the very first seasonal back in December 2020. And in December 2020, one of the most popular decks, both in the seasonal and in rank ladder, was Twisted Fate Gohar. So if you guys were not around back then, Gohar and the KDA cards got released right around that November 2020, and back then Gohar was still 1 mana, but Pack Your Back was also 1 mana. So you could go ahead and like completely spend your 3 mana doing 3 Gohars, and then still have another 3 mana to be able to do the 4th Gohar, which would be a Pack Your Back. And you'll be able to just completely obliterate the opponent's board and be able to push a ton of damage, because this was such a good like 1 mana removal. Like, can you imagine this? Like, this card was literally 1 mana, which is one of the biggest reasons why Gohar was so powerful back then with this deck. Obviously, the other reason why this deck was so powerful was Twisted Fate. So Twisted Fate used to level up after he saw you draw 7 cards instead of 9 cards. So it used to be a lot easier for you to be able to level up Twisted Fate and be able to just have a level up Twisted Fate in the field to be able to just win the game. Because the rest of the deck was kind of built to be able to get all that draw and be able to level up Twisted Fate as soon as possible. That addition of 2, that nerf from 7 to 9, does make a big difference. It slows him down enough that it really removes a lot of the power from this deck. So what did the rest of this deck look like? So really, it used to be like the way that this deck used to be played, kind of used to be like a tempo aggro type of deck that used to just spam early units, so stuff like Butcher, right, Dregway, Elise, Croaker, Doombeast, Petty Officer, right? Like, you used to just spend all these units and just push as much damage as possible, like going wide and just being able to push so much damage. And then you try to finish up with like your big Pack Your Back to be able to burn the opponent's Nexus, or even do stuff like Ledras to be able to get them below 5 HP and then be able to finish with a Gohar doing the last 5 damage to the Nexus that you need. In the meantime, you're still working with all the utility that you have from being able to level up Twisted Fate, and it's still having the regular utility from Shadow Owls, stuff like Withering Well, stuff like Vengeance, even one of Ruination here. And yeah, that's kind of how you ended up playing. Obviously, the idea here, as well as the Sap, will be able to draw you into either Gohar or Glimpse, right? Also, this deck does run one of Passage on Earth, because back then Feel the Rush used to be very popular, one of those popular decks. So this used to be a really good counter to be able to stop that. You used to also be able to stop stuff like Anivia. So this was more like a tech choice. I ended up grabbing this deck list from like some of the deck lists that made top 32 on that first seasonal. So obviously, it might not be completely accurate of what the standard deck list would be, but it was a nice surprise in ranked games. But you can see like the deck is just building like either draw engines with stuff like Pool Shark and Glimpse Beyond, to then just having your unit and even Salvage, to be honest, and Sap, to then having stuff like all your early units, and then having the Gohar and some of your more expensive removal spells to kind of finish up the game. So the deck, I think, is still pretty good, even in the current meta. So we might end up not changing a lot here once we actually move on to kind of updating this old deck list. So yeah, let's take a look and see how we do here for a few games, and then we'll go and revisit and try to update this list and play a few games of the updated list. As always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and also subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. See us tomorrow on the channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Monday night to get my review reactions for the last champion that's going to be revealed on Monday. So yeah, enjoy the games coming up soon, and I'll see you all again once we actually come back to update the deck list. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Scouts. This is going to be kind of tough. I think Scouts is able to kind of rush us down really easily. However, I really like Twisted Fate. However, we should be able to kind of put some pressure on them. Oh my god, Twisted Fate and the deckhand and red card potentially could be really impactful. We should be able to put some pressure on them. I wonder if it's actually fine to pass here. So I'm kind of scared that if the opponent has the Bright Steel protected, they'll be able to just get so much value out of this. So I think it's actually smart not to do anything. And yep, there you go. Like I talked about, they have the Bright Steel. I don't think there's any reason for me to give him the free kill. So we're gonna do this and just enable the Withering Well. Now, obviously, the opponent could have something like Ranger's Resolve, which would be a very big punish. kind of like the Elise. So next time we have 4. I kind of like the Elise. I kind of like the Elise here. Because the opponent only really has 1 good blocker. Okay, well, I guess they have 2 blockers now. I wonder if I should go ahead and do the Butcher too. We still have enough to do 5 mana. So I think I'm okay doing the Butcher. I think I'm okay doing this because we still can do the Withering Well. So we kind of threatening the opponent here, where if they don't have enough mana for, I like Twist of Fate over the Well. I think we can save the Well. We can save the Well for afterwards, for later on. So I kind of like doing this. There's a potential misplay here where we could have waited a little bit longer. Actually, we should have waited. We should have waited. So we should have waited for the opponent to develop 1 more time. Because we could have still punished this by doing well, right? We didn't need to commit the red card right away because we still could do it well. Right? Yeah, so there you go. So he does have the Ranger's Resolve. We still kill at least the Challenger. Opponent can still kill the Twisted Fate by pulling with the Broadwind. We can still kill the Brightsteel. I think we just go ahead and block. I mean, I don't really care about this. Like, I think at this point we have to just try to get all the value that we can. Like, all his cards are at 1 HP, which means that another, like, the Withering Well is just gonna completely blow him out, right? So I think we can go ahead and do this. Heck, we can even do the Doom Beast here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we can even do the Doom Beast here. I guess the only problem here is that now, if the opponent has a second Ranger's Resolve, it can be a punish. Right? So a second Ranger's Resolve will be a big punish here, but I don't think I'm going to play around it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it like this. Usually, this type of decks only play 2 Ranger's Resolve mats. So the opponent will have to have the second one. Okay, it's going to just be the Sharp Sight. I think I'm okay with that. He does get to kind of kill something, but we still clear his whole board. Sure. The only problem here is that we do kind of have like an awkward hand right now, right? I think we have a pretty awkward hand. I don't think I'm going to give him the free kill with the Flower Shout. I think we just rather keep our blockers. I think we kind of have like a little bit of an awkward hand. Just because we're not drawing like our stuff, right? We don't have the Go Hearts, so we don't have the Go Hearts enabled. We can't even punish the Valor because again we don't have the Go Heart enabled. So I think we can just do this and just do the Butcher. Opponent could have the second Sharp Sight, in which case we're just gonna glimpse it. No reason not to draw right now. We could potentially draw into the Go Heart to be able to kill that Valor. Of course, we don't draw it. It feels like I'm just getting unlucky. I'm not drawing like. Okay, well, Vengeance is not bad. Vengeance is not bad because he can kill like a Citria, right? He can kill a Citria, he can kill a Misfortune. Ruination is huge. If we ever get in any trouble, I don't think we're in any trouble anytime soon. Opponent's gonna try to level up the Queen. Let's pass. I like keeping mana for Vengeance. Do we need to do the Ruination? Or should we just Vengeance here? You know what? I'm just gonna Vengeance right here. So I'm just gonna Vengeance right here and call it a day. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the Ledger's next turn. Opponent's gonna have to commit a blocker. I'm guessing that the opponent has something like Rally, so that's why I didn't want to just do the Rally there. I'm just gonna do Ledgers. I'm just gonna do Ledgers, and this is putting a lot of pressure. Opponent's gonna have to have a fearsome blocker. Opponent really committed 2 Sharp Sight earlier this game. So if opponent doesn't have a blocker, they're in trouble. We can attack here. The For Demacia doesn't matter to us because we have the Ruination to kind of punish it. So if the opponent gets greedy here, yeah, they're gonna get really greedy and do the For Demacia, and then this is where the Ruination comes in and seals the game for us. Boom. Wow, we still get everything else back. We still get the Ledgers right back, we clear his whole board, and that's game. So, a little bit of an awkward game where we didn't get a single go hard. But because of the AoE from the red card, the AoE for the well, we were able to still punish the opponent and be able to kind of just finish the game from there. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Lux Jayce. So, not what I want to see. I think I want to be able to see my Gohards and my Twisted Fates early. We get some of the Gohards, which is pretty good. So we can start trying to work towards the Gohard win condition. Twisted Fate is also very good. The problem is that the opponent is able to remove Twisted Fate because of, obviously, single combat, Concerted Strike. Heck, some of these decks also play Mystic Shot. So that is a problem. Let's go ahead and do the Elise. If the opponent has the Broadwind, we can do this. This will stop the Broadwind from being able to kill the Elise. And then next turn we just attack again. We just attack with it anyways. So we're able to still attack with the Elise next turn while also being able to use the second Gohard if we wanted to. And I think at this point I like committing the second Gohard. Especially if the opponent goes like this. I think I definitely like committing the second Gohard here. We could get greedy with Twisted Fate, but I think I'm always gonna go blue card with Twisted Fate. So I think at this point I just want to be able to draw with Twisted Fate. I don't need to actually do like red card and stuff like that or gold card. Assembly line. I still think this is fine. I still like this jar right here. So I still like this jar right here. We could potentially join to the Gohard. There we go. We still join to the Gohard. The question here is, if we do this, we could do the second Twisted Fate, to be honest. And it would draw us into pack, but I don't think we actually need to do this just yet. I actually don't think we need to do this just yet. I think we just do the Pool Shark and just kind of play like a more slow game right here and force the opponent to have to single combat and potentially be able to level up the Twisted Fate from surprise. Okay, so double Salvage is not bad. Okay, so opponent's just gonna go ahead and kill the Twisted Fate. So opponent's gonna try to kill the Twisted Fate. This is gonna give me 2 draw, putting me at 5. My natural jump puts me at 6, and the Pool Shark puts me at 7. So the Salvage can actually level us up. So now we just need to draw another Twisted Fate. So the Salvage will actually level up our Twisted Fate right here. If I count it correctly, we get the pack. Unfortunately, by leveling up the Twisted Fate, we lose the value from the pack, which is a problem. Yeah, I like it. I think leveling up Twisted Fate is worth it. Just in case that we ever get another Twisted Fate, right? Losing the pack value kind of sucks. We also lose the whale value. So we lose all our cards that give us like some value here. The question is, do I want to get value from the Twisted Fate right here by doing the Salvage? Because otherwise we don't get value from him. I think I prefer to do Elise plus Fortune Croaker, to be honest. I think Elise plus Fortune Croaker is slightly better. So I think I'm gonna just go like this. I think I'm just gonna commit the Elise plus Fortune Croaker and be able to draw. We will lose the pack. We also just saw that we threw another one away. This still gives us a decent number of blockers. Unfortunately, we got the Ledros right back. And all we need to do is just join to another pack. We join into it, and we can just open attack with it next turn and be able to clear his whole board, especially before he levels up the Jayce. I think that's worth it. I think this is worth it right here. Now we also have a pretty good open attack here. Okay, he gets the Shield of Duran. I think Ruination is gonna be very good later on. Opponent still doesn't have a good blocker here for the Elise and the Croaker, so we can still attack and push the damage. Because I think at this point we just play for the Ruination value. Don't want to attack with the Croaker because that can get blocked by the Broadwind. Opponent could technically have Sharp Sight, but that's okay with me. The Ruination is going to be the key here. Opponent's down to so little resources that we're able to just kind of kill him. We also have pushed quite a bit of damage. So let's see what he does here. If he commits anything weird, then I can always Ruination. He could have Shock Blast, I guess. Shock Blast will allow him to level up the Jayce, as well as kill both of our blockers. Which could be annoying. Because the annoying part here with this deck now...
This is the cutting edge of progress. Testing.
5, 7. Do I care about the 7 damage? I don't think I do. I don't think I care about the 7 damage. It's kind of annoying, but I don't think I care about the 7 damage that much. There's 2 things we can do here. So, opponent probably wants to be able to do the acceleration gate next turn. I like doing the Ledgers here. The risky part with the Ledgers is that the opponent could technically find the lethal next turn on the open attack if they have something like the Big Pharaohs. Or something like this. Yeah, so now they just have the lethal. So now they have the lethal on the open attack because of the reinforcements. No, wait. Wait. No, they don't. We have the counter. We have the counter. The Passage on Earth Tech. The Passage on Earth Tech completely blows him out. He needs to block with Jayce now. Okay? He needs to block with Jayce.
Now's not a good time.
To be able to survive. Sharpsight's not enough to save him here. Sharpsight still means the Jayce dies. This still stays in the field. The Passage on Earth just completely won us the game. And that's game, right? Because no matter what he does here, we can just Ruination. I like how we leveled up the Twisted Fate. So I like how we leveled up the Twisted Fate and didn't even really get to play him. So it's a little bit unfortunate. The good thing here is that we have a couple options here, right? Okay, we're gonna get hit by Sits here. That's a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying. So, Opponent doesn't have enough for the full value. Okay, Vengeance is really good. Vengeance is really good. Because I think what we need to do is that we actually need to just Vengeance that Jayce right away. So I think we have to Vengeance that Jayce right away. Stop him from being able to get like a Shock Blast. Because if the opponent has a second Shock Blast in their hand, then they're able to kill us and duplicate it with the Jayce, be able to kill the Gangplank, and be able to duplicate the Shock Blast. So I think we just commit the Vengeance right here, to begin with. Being able to kill this. So now if the opponent has a Shock Blast, they're not able to duplicate it and deal 6 damage to our face. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Now, we will need blockers for next turn. So, opponent could technically have a lot of value here. We have some healing because of the Doom Beast. We got a second. So that's the problem. That our hand is full of Gohar stuff now. Our hand is full of Gohar stuff. And the opponent just gets the value here. So we're going to have to do this. We get to heal up a little bit. But this can get countered by a single combat. We can block the Pharaohs. Opponent still didn't sit. And we just have to get one more. We should actually dig. We should actually dig. We should dig for the last Gohar. Because if we get the last Gohar, we can actually just finish the game, right? If we get the last Gohar, we actually finish the game. If the opponent has the Mystic Shot, they win. So I think so we have to like naturally draw it now. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. We don't have enough to stop to be able to win. We can Vengeance the Pharaohs to stop this from being able to trigger and kill us next turn. Opponent doesn't even care. Which means that they could potentially have the Shock Blast here. But if we had to pack your bags, opponent would get so punished by this. So I'm surprised that they did it this way. Yeah, they had the Shock Blast. So it had to be the Vengeance on the Jayce, but we're always losing, right? So we were always losing because of that. So we were 1 mana off. Like if we have 1 more mana, and we drew the Twisted Fate a little bit too late. So we leveled up the Twisted Fate and ended up not winning because we ended up not joining the second one sometime in the game. So yeah, I mean, close game, close game. I had a hunch that he had a second Shock Blast from way earlier. The problem is that we can't Vengeance the Jayce there, because if we Vengeance the Jayce there, we just lose to the Apples Pharaoh's next turn anyways. So yeah, GG's. So welcome back, everybody. So I think, honestly, I think the game that we lost, and there was a couple other games that I lost that I didn't showcase, were a lot more because of my misplays and not because of the deck. Like, in the last game against Jayce Lutz, I think the glimpse was actually incorrect. I think we needed to do the triple Gohar, which will add more copies of Gohar in our deck, which will almost increase our chances of getting the Pack Your Bag next turn. And we also had the salvage to be able to almost guarantee that we do another Pack Your Bag, right? So I think I played it a little bit incorrectly there by going the glimpse, right? Because it had to be Gohar, Gohar, Gohar to guarantee the chances of our pack, and then be able to do the pack on the turn. But again, I haven't played this deck in a very long time, so I think the misplays are a little bit understandable. So let's take a look at this deck. How will I update this deck for the current meta? Well, I actually think this deck is already very good, even as it is. I think there's just a few cards here that we will remove, like obviously the Passage in Earth, even though it actually got some value last game. I don't think that's going to be the case. I also think it's really hard because it feels like every single game, we're not getting the packs when we need them to. Again, one of them was because of our misplay, but I feel like there's certain games, other games that I lost that I didn't show, where I will have like I would do 3 Go Hearts and I never draw the last pack. It's also weird. I mean, that game was tough because we didn't reduce the fate. But anyways, so let's think about how can we update this deck together now. And actually, before we do that, let me actually make a copy of the deck so that I actually keep the old one. So last to the past updated list. So I could actually keep the old one to be able to link you guys the deck code. So let's take a look at this. So we're still keeping the idea of Gohar Twisted Fate, while also being able to put a lot of Tempo Swing because of our early units. Let's first look through the cards that I think are potentially good in this deck. Is there any champion that has been released since this deck came out that could be good in this deck? Kindred? Could be decent. Kindred could be decent over Gangplank. Like, I feel like Gangplank was really not putting a lot of not doing anything. I might go 2 Kindred, 1 Elise, to be honest. Senna, I think it might be a little bit too greedy, even though we get the fast speed, pack your bags. I don't think it's necessary. So let's see here. What if it's more like, what if we actually doing more the Sentinels, right? Because the Sentinels get a little bit more value than stuff like Butchers when you're able to kill things, right? So I think we actually go more like a Sentinel route because they're actually able to kind of put a little bit more pressure than stuff like the Butcher, in my opinion. Let's see. We have the draw here. This is fine. I don't think we play for more draw with stuff like the Black and Mark and Merkin. I don't think it's necessary. We don't even have a lot of ways to really ping the Nexus anyways. Glimpse is fine, obviously. We took the Passage in Earth away already. I guess we'll take it out here right away just so that we don't get confused later. Make it rain is tempting, but it dilutes the pool that our sap can pull. As it is already, it's already also pulling Glimpse, which can be a little bit awkward sometimes, but I think it's still worth it to be able to keep the Glimpse. So we cannot play other spells that have 2 or less cost because of the fact that we play the Sap Spray Fin. So we're looking more for units. Yeah, that's also the reason why we're not playing Battle Feast, by the way. I don't mind the Sentinel, just how we talked about. You're able to get a lot of value from it because you're able to kill stuff with your spells. What else? What else? I don't think the Petty Officer is necessary, so let's just pull that out right away. I just remember because we had the Petty Officer show up right here. So now let's think about 4-cost cards, so stuff that could actually get a lot of value here. This might be one of the easiest ones for us to update, because like I said, I feel like the deck list is already very good, or very close to good as it is. It's just like very minor things that need to be fixed. The bots is a consideration. I don't think it is, though. I think definitely like a second well, if possible. So I definitely think a second well can be very good, or maybe even Withering Mist actually could not be bad. Because Withering Mist can kind of synergize with like the Dragway, but I don't even know if we actually keep stuff like the Dragway in the deck. So let's put it here just as a placeholder in case that we decide to actually play the Dragway. I think Triple Vengeance is too good to pass up. And Atrocity, I think it's a little bit risky. I don't think Atrocity is necessary. It's too easy for it to be a death draw. I think with 2 Ledgers, I think it's fine, and 1 Ruination. So we have 48 cards. I definitely think we go down to just 1 Elise. I like the 2 Kindred, or maybe we just go to 2 Kindred. Maybe the double Elise is actually okay to push some damage early on. I think Kindred is really good though, because Kindred is forcing the opponent to have to do something, but that gives us a lot of 4-drops. So it makes us a little bit worse against like aggro, especially if we end up removing stuff like here. I think it has to be double Elise. I think it's tempting because we also have the Glimpse to trigger the Kindred. Okay, I'll keep the triple Kindred. So what are we? I mean the double Kindred. So what are we moving here? I think I'd rather just play the Sentinel and not the Butcher. We keep the Pool Shard to be able to draw. This is draw. This is another blocker, another attacker, but it does mean that now we have a little bit too many units. I think we have a little bit too many units. Let's get rid of the Mist. So we only have 3. Are we getting rid of the Dragway? The Dragway can be really good with like Gohar's, Pack Your Bags, as well as Twisted Fate. So I'm really hesitant, but because we're not playing Make It Rain, it might be okay to get rid of it. Maybe we go down to 2. Maybe we go down to 2 Dragway. And maybe just 2 Buru Sentinels instead of full package of 3. I still think 3 Vengeance is necessary. There's a lot of threats that I want to be able to Vengeance right off the bat. Like, that could get out of control really easily. So it's just 1 more card. I think definitely like the idea of the Sentinel package. So I definitely like keeping the Sentinel, the Burgundy Sentinel here. Because she has a lot of potential to become a 3/3. I do think, again, I am very scared that we're putting ourselves a little bit too much vulnerable to aggro by not going for the second Elise and instead going more for a control with Kindred. Because she's also very expensive. Maybe it's the Salvage, but the Salvage is like some of our draw that we have to be able to level up Twisted Fate and be able to get some value. Maybe it's just 1 Ledros. Maybe it's just 1 Ledros. Maybe it's 1 Ledros. Maybe it's just 1 Ledros and kind of going more for a Kindred control. So let's go like that. Let's go like that and let's see how that goes. So yeah, so let's see how this game's go. We kind of the updated list. It doesn't change much, but this is what I would do if I was to play this list in this meta. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against... Ooh, okay, so Jayce, Elise, Sentinel Control. So this is kind of annoying because they also have a lot of removal, just like us. So it can get very awkward. I'm gonna keep the Sentinel package because we have Glimpse as well. We can actually just be able to glimpse one of them to be able to trigger them, right? If we need to. Just have the opponent commit the same thing. Unfortunately for us, the opponent does have Mystic Shot, so they have kind of like a better value than us to be able to kill our Sentinel and be able to trigger their Sentinel. Let's go ahead and just push the 1 damage, call it a day. Twisted Fate is never gonna level in this matchup because they're gonna have Mystic Shots, Vengeance, etc. So I think trying to play for a Twisted Fate level up is kind of weird. We're just going to have to play for the Pack Your Bags win condition and potentially Kindred being able to stay on the field. Ruination can be really good later on in the game when once the opponent has like the Financier and stuff like that, right? We can actually block that Sentinel. Okay, well, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, well, now you cannot attack, right? So now you cannot attack. You don't get your trigger. You spend your thermal. And we'll go ahead and open attack with the Sentinel. Force the opponent to block. If the opponent wants to attack here, I'm okay with that. So I want to open attack here because the opponent probably doesn't have a way to stop this open attack without sacrificing his Buru Sentinel. Yeah, and there we go. I like the idea of doing the sap right now. Oh, you know what? Let's do Twisted Fate. Let's do Twisted Fate. Let's do Twisted Fate and pretend that we can potentially level him up. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. But it is an option. Opponent could technically have like a Thermal here or a Mystic Shot to be able to stop this. This is huge. This is huge for us to be able to finish this game. So, Opponent has to deal with Twisted Fate one way or the other. Opponent could have Jayce here or could have Divide, and that could be pretty annoying for us. So he's just gonna go for... He's gonna just kill our unit and be able to attack with the Fearsome. The Glimpse is really good because he allows us to prevent him. He's gonna have to have twist spells, right? He's gonna have to have like a Mystic plus something else. The fact that he committed a Thermal last turn instead of the Mystic tells me that he doesn't have Mystic. There you go. So this actually is pretty good because we stop his Sentinels from triggering, and now we also work on leveling up the Twisted Fate. That's pretty good. Twisted Fate is gonna actually be able to level up next turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this our natural draw puts us at 6. This puts us at 7, and then the Salvage is the last one that I need. And we have 2 more Twisted Fates in our hand. The awkward part here though is that we're gonna overdraw if we level up Twisted Fate. We have 3, 6. We're gonna actually overdraw if we level up Twisted Fate here. Ha. I wonder if the opponent has no way to deal with this. I think I'm gonna attack. Opponent has done 2 Pharaoh's Financiers. I want to really level Twisted Fate. I think I have to. Okay. I think I have to. I'm gonna overdraw twice, by the way. So we lose the Dreadway. And we're gonna overdraw again. Because we're gonna have a full hand, right? But now we have a level of Twisted Fate and we still have 2 Twisted Fates on the field. Which is not bad. And opponent just committed a second Thermal. So now we're gonna be only vulnerable to stuff like, I guess, the Shock Blast or Vengeance. Okay, that's not bad. So we burn that Sentinel, right? And a Dreadway, which is not bad at all. I also don't think we should take that much damage though. So I don't think we can take that much damage. The way that the opponent's playing tells me that they probably have like a Shock Blast. So I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this and play it slow. Because the opponent's keeping enough mana. Okay, bye-bye Commander Ledros. This kind of sucks. So we'll go ahead and just do this now, right? So the Pool Shark, that will give us a draw. We can start drawing to our Gohards. We probably should have done the Gohar first, to be honest, to increase our odds to join another one, but it's okay. We still got a lot of value here by doing this. Because we're able to just kill this Sentinel. The only problem here is that we don't get... We're not getting any really good value. We can draw another pack here. But if the opponent has the Shock Blast, then that's a problem. Oh, this guarantees that we draw the pack. This guarantees that we draw the pack. At 3, we're going to overdraw 3, 6, 7, 8. No, we're not going to overdraw. Okay, perfect. We're not going to overdraw yet. We have the pack in our hand, and we have just enough mana to do it. So even if the opponent has a Shock Blast, we still punish them. We do this, clear his whole board, and we have the pack in our hand. We also have mana for a Vengeance if we need to. Opponent could have Ruination right here, but we can just play the second Twisted Fate. Or actually, we can just play anything else that we want. We also get the stun from this, so whatever the opponent plays is going to get stunned anyways. Because we still have one more card for Twisted Fate. Wow. So... we get the stun, right? We can pack. We can just pack though, right? Opponent already did 2 Thermals. Opponent already did 2 Thermals. This is gonna actually enable the Sentinel, right? So this enables the Sentinel, and this is 3, 6, 8, 9. So we're 1 off. We do lose our pack, which means that now we have a bunch of Gohars in our hand. But because we have a level of Twisted Fate and we have also Commander Ledros, taking the opponent to 1 is lethal, because if the opponent is at 1 HP, then Ledros will actually do the last point of damage. So here we can just win next turn by doing Ledros. Opponent will need to have like a well or something like that to be able to stop this. But if we do Ledros... okay, well, he has the Piercing Darkness. What if we just Vengeance our own on Twisted Fate to deny the heal. Because then we can just do the Doom Beast here. So by denying our own heal, we finish the game. By denying his heal, we finish the game because now we can do Doom Beast and just finish. Nice. I'm glad that I saw that line. So I'm glad that I saw that line, how important it was to deny the heal. For us to be able to do the Doom Beast there and be able to still finish the game. So yeah, because Twisted Fate as well, right? With the red card, I just finished. We also could actually, I guess, finish by... No, because we didn't have any other fast piece spell in our hand to be able to trigger the red card on the stack, right? So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Draven Sion. Okay, so we do have the Gohars, which are pretty good at stopping, like, his units. But we don't really have a lot of fearsomes. The Drek, I think we have to do Sentinel and hope that we draw a Gohar. I don't think the deckhand is really that critical at the moment. The Vengeance is not bad. The Well is actually going to be really good. So the Well is going to be really good. The Well is going to be really good at getting rid of a lot of his units. We can push some fearsome damage here, like just push one. We have a lot of ways to deal with his 1 health units, so I'm not too concerned about them. If the opponent does the Boom Baboon next turn, I think we do have to block though and not take damage. Yeah, I think we have to block the Boom Baboon next turn, unfortunately. Okay, well, that's a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying, because the opponent's going to be able to push 4 damage, and we can't do anything about it. Oh, wow. I'm actually going to take that 4. Opponent's not even making me block. What are they doing? I'm so confused. We're going to open attack and just get our damage. And if the opponent develops, we can just well. If the opponent doesn't develop, we can just red card next turn instead. No, I like the well here. I like the well here. It gives us a fearsome blocker. If opponent has Get Excited, they can do the Get Excited, and we can just Twisted Fate red card next turn. I like the well here. We clear his whole board. Opponent's gonna summon this guy. We have a fearsome blocker for it. Opponent can have another fearsome attacker though, which is kind of annoying. Opponent's gonna very likely have. Opponent's gonna very likely have, like, a Mystic Shot, right? To be able to kill this. But if the opponent commits a Mystic Shot or Get Excited to kill the Twisted Fate, I'm okay with that. The other concern here is by us playing Twisted Fate now, we don't have a Twisted Fate to stun the Sion later on. And I really don't know how likely it is for us to be able to level this Twisted Fate. I guess we have double glimpse, right? So technically we do have the double glimpse, so we had the sap and we had the salvage. So it's not completely unlikely that we can level the Twisted Fate, but the opponent will literally not have to have a burn in their hand, whether Mystic or Get Excited, to be able to punish us. I don't think I care about the Revenant. I think I always want to be able to block the Risen Rider, because opponent wants to get the Lost Soul back in their hand, and I don't think we give him that opportunity. So I think we just go ahead and do the sap. We drew another glimpse, so this is going to be a game where we don't get any Go Hearts. So again, where we have no Go Hearts in our hand, unfortunately. Opponent needs to be careful of this Twisted Fate leveling up, right? So opponent needs to be very, very careful about that. Let's go ahead and attack. Force the opponent to block here. That's okay. We have Well for next turn. We also have Double Glimpse. If we level up Twisted Fate, this game is going to be completely out of control, because then the opponent's going to have to commit a Get Excited here. If the opponent has a Get Excited, there's a chance that they don't want to play it, because they don't want to, like, maybe they don't want to play the Get Excited because they don't want to, like, they don't want to discard something useful. We get second Twisted Fate, which is not bad. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage that we're taking. It's a lot of damage that we're taking. We do have the Glimpse. We have the Withering Well, which is pretty good. I want to threaten the level up on the Twisted Fate. I want to threaten the Twisted Fate level up. Okay. This puts me at 6-7, and then we can level up next turn with a salvage. We can also... Perfect. So we level up Twisted Fate here. So we can level up Twisted Fate with the salvage. Right? Yeah, that's gonna be 9. We have the Vengeance, and we have other ways to deal with the opponent. We can do the Gohar right here to be able to heal a little bit. We also have the Well now available as well. Sure, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. So we put the Gohar in our deck right away. That way we can potentially draw more into them. We have Well. We have a second Twisted Fate in our hand. That Draven is gonna die. We're gonna get... I guess technically we're not gonna get a Fierce... Oh wow, this is actually huge too. Sion is not scary. He will level up, but because we have Twisted Fate, we're able to just kill him. This is gonna mark... So the scary part here is... Now, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. If the opponent has the Get Excited to be able to kill this Twisted Fate, then they have it. I still don't think we're in a lethal range just because we have access to Vengeance, right? And we also have access to Well. Opponent will need to actually be able to open attack because we can trigger the gold card. We can trigger the gold card right away, while also being able to clear the rest of his board. Ironically, we're actually gonna give him the Sion attack though on the next turn, because we're gonna be able to tag the Sion here with the Kindred, unless we keep the Soul Revenant alive. But we still have Vengeance. Don't think that's gonna matter a ton. I think Ledgers is always gonna be way too expensive. I think we just have to commit the stun, right? For us to commit the stun, I think the best way to do it might just be to Glimpse here. I don't like the idea of doing... I really don't like the idea of doing the salvage. So I think I'm gonna just do it like this. I don't like the idea of doing the salvage. So I like doing it this way. We kill his whole cards, like everything in his deck. Kindred also levels up, right? We get 1 more mana, so we still have 2 mana. Because Kindred levels up, if we kill another unit, we actually get to hit the mark again. We can just pass, because we're going to be drawing 2 from the Twisted Fate spell. Opponent could have the Flock, I guess. Yeah, so opponent's going to go for the Flock here. Unfortunately for opponent, we can still block the Sion with the Kindred, and we only lose 5 HP. We need Doom Beast. We need a ways to heal. That's what I was scared of, though. A second Flock was the problem. Or opponent could have also Mystic Shot or Get Excited their own unit. So they're going to go for the attack here. So this is pushing 6 plus the Fearsome. It's going to push another 4. So opponent's forcing us to have to block. So this is 6. And if the opponent has a Mystic Shot or Get Excited, they win the game. Let's save the Pool Shark for a second. So we can do like this and do like this, and we live at 3, and the opponent will need to have Get Excited for us to lose. But we lose the Twisted Fate. I mean, we could potentially draw into it. I think it's fine now to do the Pool Shark. I don't see a reason not to. It has to be a second Get Excited. Opponent really committed 1. And it has to be us not drawing any heal, which we draw. If the opponent has the Get Excited, we lose anyways, even if we do the Go Hard. So I don't mind just doing the sap, to be honest. I don't mind doing the sap. If the opponent drew the second Get Excited, we always lose, right? Okay, doesn't look like they have it. It's pretty good for us. So we have to try to heal right now. Okay. We go like this, being able to kill his Fearsome because we don't have any Fearsome blockers. We heal back up to 6. We have double Vengeance for potential double Sion next turn. Losing the value from the salvage kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think we just commit the attack here. I want to keep my whole mana to be able to deal with the second Sion. So this is very close, because we still are a really bad spot with the amount of health that we have. If we drop Twisted Fate or Kindred though, we just win the game. Pack is not bad. We can completely get rid of his war. So we just pack, right? We just pack and call it a day. We deal 5. We kill both his units. Opponent already showed us that they don't look like they have any other units, which is pretty good. We can draw another Gohar because of the sap. There's nothing with the amount of mana that he has that scares me here, so I think I'm okay doing this. And then next we have it sack 9 for lethal. And we even have the Doom Beast as a finisher. I'm gonna do this. I want to be at 7. So by me being at 7 means I don't lose to a double Get Excited. Yeah, there we go. So let's say the opponent has a Get Excited in their hand. By me being at 7, we don't lose to the double Get Excited. It would have to be Get Excited, Mystic, and Mystic. So I think it's definitely worth it for us to heal there. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Viktor Riven. Now we do have a lot of heals, which cool, like this, right? I don't mind keeping at least 1 well. I think keeping 2 is a little bit too greedy, but keeping 1 is not bad. We can also combine it with the Dreadweight to be able to deal 2, and having the Gohar right away is also very good, in my opinion. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do this. That way he doesn't get the value from the Force Chief. So this way we start the value from here, and we can start enabling our Gohards. If we get a Pack Your Bags, then that will be a big punish for Viktor and Riven. We also get Twisted Fate now, which is pretty good. I think I'm going to pass, because I don't want to summon the Dreadweight, because I don't have anything to use it with. So it's a little bit awkward to summon that guy. We can do the Sentinel here. I'm able to block the Squire. Still going to take a lot of damage, though. I still think we always block the Squire. So I still think we block the Squire. Yeah, we put this down guy to 1, but it's fine. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go for the Twisted Fate blue card to be able to potentially draw. Because I think what I have found as I play this deck more and more is that people do need to be careful of the Twisted Fate. So at the very least, Twisted Fate is going to force the opponent to have to commit a Mystic or Get Excited to be able to stop him here. Because it's very easy for us to get like Salvage and Glimpses to be able to just finish the game with Twisted Fate very quickly. Or just, you know, casually get a second Twisted Fate. We have Well to be able to punish this stuff. We have Fearsome Attacker here. Do I want to give him the Blades? You know, let's just attack. Let's just give him the Blade right now. It doesn't matter. We still got a Fearsome Attacker here. Well, we can still punish. Opponent could have the Mystic to be able to kill this or this. I think the opponent is trying to decide. If the opponent decides to Mystic Shot the Buru Sentinel, that's okay with us. They might opt to kill the Buru. Wow. That's actually the best outcome I could hope for, because we get to push the 5 damage while still having Well to just completely punish the Squire next turn and be able to block the Ballistic Body if the opponent gets greedy. Wow. That's all I could have asked for. That's actually all I could have asked for. So did you do the thermal here, the mystic? Why, if you had that, like the only reason that I could see that play making a little bit of sense is if you had like we talked about, like you had a thermal. But I don't think this deck plays thermal, so I don't think I can put the opponent on having that. Now opponent could obviously join the mystic here, so I'm gonna just play safe. Definitely want to keep enough mana for whale, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Let's do the deckhand. I don't mind the deckhand. It gives me blockers for both units. It's a little bit annoying, right? But it is what it is. I think we just go like this. And then we can just attack again. Opponent's going to have to definitely use whatever he got from the Archivist. Whether it's a Mystic Shot to kill the Sentinel. And if he goes for the Sentinel kill, then he's still going to have to find a way to block this. Yep. So he went ahead for the Get Excited. Now, we do know that the opponent's going to draw another Get Excited soon. So the Twisted Fate, again, like we talked about, has a really low chance of leveling. But look at this. This is now vulnerable to go hard. And we have a good chance of drawing one with the Sap on our next turn, while also still having the well to be able to kill this. And there we go. We draw it. We can actually do the Bruised Sentinel before we do the Go Hard, so that we're able to actually get the value here. And Twisted Fate, like we talked about, very close to leveling up, right? Now, again, the opponent does have a Get Excited, but if the opponent doesn't draw that Get Excited anytime soon, they're going to get punished. And that's another Go Hard, and we're still back at 19 HP against a deck that's meant to be aggro. They do have 3 Blade Fragments, so they can get the Blade of Exile right away, and we do have the Vengeance, which can be a little bit annoying for us. So we might actually have to commit this at some point. And I think the point to commit this is going to be next turn. Yeah, there you go. Because, okay, well, now that he did that, I think we can just go ahead with the Twisted Fate. We're still pushing 5 here. And Twisted Fate is still going to be a really good card for next turn. Boom. And there we go. So now the opponent is down to 10 HP, meaning that if we do Commander Ledgers and ever draw into Pack Your Bags, we just win the game as well. I think at this point I'd rather keep the Twisted Fate to be able to stun like a big Riven, to be honest. So this is where keeping Twisted Fate might actually end up being better as an alternate win condition, as a way to stop his lethal. Because I don't think there's anything that he has that scares me. So let's say that he does a Riven right here. Oh, he's just going to go full on Overwhelm with this one. So he's just going to go full in on this one. So let's say that he commits the Blade of Exile here. Now we can do the second Twisted Fate to be able to punish this. Opponent still has to commit the quick attack, or he's just going to go for the ambush, but the ambush still means that you lose here. And then what? And we're just going to let it go first, because then we can commit the well after the fact. We have 2 options. We can do Twisted Fate and well. I think we do... I like the well. I like the well. It gets rid of the unit. We can do the Doom Beast afterwards. Be able to heal back up and be able to push 6 damage to the Nexus. Okay, well, I guess we're not pushing 6 damage anymore. I think it's still fine to do here. Oh, we could have done Twisted Fate, to be honest. We could have done Twisted Fate. I got a little bit greedy here. We know opponent has a second Get Excited, so I'm kind of waiting for the opponent to do the Get Excited before we commit this. We can go ahead and do this. So one the opponent, so opponent now is in range of pack. So even if the opponent has Get Excited, I think I'm okay with this. I think now we just go look for our Go Hards. So at this point, I think we just go look for Go Hards. Opponent should still have 1 more Blade Fragment, by the way. So opponent has 1 more Blade Fragment, which will give him the Blade of Exile. We get another Doom Beast, so we're able to heal up some of that damage for the thing. That's actually kind of annoying, though. Let's draw. I think we draw. I think we actually draw this time. Because I want to see... I'm kind of scared of this girl. Okay, there we go. We get the Go Hard. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to set up the pack. So that now we can just join to the pack potentially. And be able to finish the game. When opponent does the Blade of Exile on the Riven, we can respond to it with the Glimpse. But the opponent does have to Get Excited that we need to be careful about. So the opponent could... Okay, we get Salvage. So the Salvage is also kind of nice. Because it means that he cannot get denied by the Get Excited. Yeah, so opponent's gonna get the Blade here, Blade of Exile. Remember, we saw him have a get excited draw earlier with the Archivist. It should be coming up very soon. So it's very potential. It's a good chance that he could have to get excited in his hand. I think we just go like this. Bye-bye, Vengeance. Not what we needed. Not what we needed, which is kind of annoying. Because we needed that pack. Okay, well, do I care about this? We can actually level up Twisted Fate, to be honest. We can actually level up Twisted Fate. I just don't know how much value that actually does. Like, leveling up Twisted Fate doesn't do anything anymore, but at least we get some draw here. Like, we would need to get another Twisted Fate for that to actually matter. But again, I don't think I'm concerned about anything, because we can just, like, at this point, we're just playing for the pack, right? Opponent has no cards in their hand. We can actually go super wide here. We can do Doom Beast. I guess we could have done Elise, Sentinel, Pool Shark, to be honest, and it would have probably been better. But we can do Doom Beast here, and it's still fine. We only put your opponent only pushes 8 damage. The Pool Shark gives us a potential another draw, and we just need to draw that Go Hard, pack your back, sorry, and we win the game. Okay, well, we don't get it, so we're just gonna go ahead and push for lethal. And there we go. I could have potentially drawn for it, to be honest, but it's fine. It's fine how it is. So that ended up working out as well. We got a lot of value there, especially from those wells. We got to level up Twisted Fate for another game where we level him up and he has to not doing anything because we ended up not join him. So yeah, it's just nice seeing the TF level up. So yeah, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games, both with the old list and with the new list. They're very close to each other, so technically you can take this whole video to kind of similar lists. Because the game plan is still the same, right? The game plan is just go hard and Twisted Fate as your main win con, and just being able to like remove stuff as they come down and be able to clear the opponent's board because of pack your backs. I do think this deck is actually low-key still pretty strong, but you can see what the awkwardness is. The awkwardness here is that sometimes you can get like a bunch of go hards and then not draw them, or sometimes it's very hard to level up Twisted Fate because of Mystic Shot, because of Get Excited, it's because of so many different ways that there is to remove the Twisted Fate now. I think against better players, I would have never been able to level up Twisted Fate. I think better players would have known to remove Twisted Fate as soon as they could and not allow me to surprise level him up with stuff like Salvage or stuff like Glimpse to be able to respond. So again, you know, it also is going to depend on who you're going against. I do think the deck is very good though. It can do a lot of great things because of Go Hard, just being able to completely clear the opponent's board if you're able to set up for it. And you have enough draw to try to make it consistent, but you can see that it can still be very inconsistent, especially now that pack doesn't automatically get you Go Hard. Because once it changes to pack your backs, you're not able to play the sap to try to get it. So you can only play the sap when it's still at a Go Hard and not afterwards. Anyways, I do think this deck can be very good, and I'm kind of excited to try it out a little bit more. In terms of mulligans and what I will mulligan for this version, especially now that we updated it, and I'm not sure if this updated list will be what we call the most optimized list, but I do like this kind of this ratio breakdown here. I think it's pretty good to allow us to either get Gohar or get the tools from SAP to be able to level up Twisted Fate. In terms of mulligan, I definitely like keeping at least one Gohar. Nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of units out there that have 1 health, so it can ping a lot of things out there. I like keeping the Elise if we get her. I like keeping the Twisted Fate if we get him. Or even the Kindred can actually be a good keep too. So Twisted Fate, Kindred, Elise, Gohard, the Burgundy Sentinel are all good keeps in my opinion. To be able to start putting some pressure on the opponent and be able to threaten some of your level ups, whether it's Kindred or Twisted Fate, to get a lot of value. Yeah, I think that's how I would do it. Try to see what else. I think there's really not a lot else to be said about this deck. I hope you enjoyed the games today. Like, this is gonna be the last one of the Blast from the Past series until the next rebuild season. Tomorrow you're gonna see us do our rebuild reactions to the next champion, which was spoiled in one of the full arts of today's rebuilds. Is gonna be Annie. So tomorrow night we'll do an Annie rebuild reaction, and then on Tuesday we'll do what we did on the last patch, where we'll give you guys a patch breakdown and around 10 to 15 decks to try on the new patch. That's going to be the plan for the next 2 days before the patch comes out. So this will be the last gameplay video until Wednesday night, potentially. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this game and this deck. It's really fun, so I recommend you try it. If you like the content, please make sure to like the video below. You can also subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. And you can also catch us on Twitch at Twitch Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. You can also find us on Twitter and Discord. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.